Hey guys, welcome back to Magic the Chattering. I'm Melvin.
And I'm Nick.
So, for the past 2 weeks, we've been having the BFZ previews. So today we're going to have the spoiler. But first up,
Number 5, WMCQ number 3, champion Chin Wei Han.
So congrats to Chin Wei Han for winning the last WMCQ held in CNH this past weekend.
It was pretty awesome, yeah. It was last Sunday, yeah. Chin Wei Han won the WMCQ with his Abzan control deck.
Yeah. And now he joins Pang Ming, Raymond Tan and Said Zulkarnain as part of Team Malaysia to represent Malaysia in the World Magic Cup in Barcelona, Spain this November.
Yeah.
I have to say it's a pretty strong lineup. I mean, all three of them, Pang Ming, Raymond and Chin Wei Han are part of Team D cards.
Yep.
So they have that team synergy going on. So best of luck, guys.
I look forward to Syed working closely with Team D cards. I think this is the strongest Malaysian team we've had in a while. So good luck, guys. We'll be supporting you.
Alright, so let's get on to our BFC spoilers, starting up with
Number 4, top 5 BFZ comments.
So the full spoiler is out. First up, we'll be going with the comments, starting with our pick, number 5, Scour from Existence.
This is my favorite comment. I can't wait to draft it.
So for 7 mana instant, you get a colorless spell, which exiles target permanent.
It looks like a 7 mana spell, but once you start playing with the Eldrazi Scions, most likely it's just going to be 3 to 4 mana.
Number 4, Natural Connection. So for 2 colorless, 1 green, you get an instant. Set your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle your library.
Well, I was expecting for Harrow to come back, but since we don't have Harrow, this is the next best thing.
Yeah. I don't see how relevant instant speed is in this format just yet.
Landfall, much?
Yeah, you can, but for 3 mana, might as well just be sticking to your fetches.
This might go into the mono green Eldrazi Ram decks. Most likely. I mean, we have our choice of like Eldrazi Ram cards right now. You know, with like Explosive Agitation, Nissa's Pilgrimage, Enemy's Awakening. There's so many to choose from, but I foresee this might be pretty strong.
We shall see. We shall see. So at number 3, a trio of spell lands.
Yeah. This
So
is the
most
common cycle,
notably, most notably, Fertile Thicket, Mortuary Mire, and Skyline Cascade. Yeah.
Skyline Cascade is a very strong combat trick. Mortuary Mire is nice. It's Volrath Stronghold, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Fertile Ticket might go into that mono green Eldrazi Ram deck as well.
So I would say Mortuary Mire more in an Abzan shell.
Yeah.
Having, getting back your Siege Rhinos.
Or my Den Protector.
It's pretty sweet. Mortuary Mire, I think, is my favorite from the whole set. Although, like, Fertile Ticket might actually see play.
Yeah, pretty strong. Next up.
Calustra Healer. So for 1 colorless, 1 black, you get a 1/2 Vampire Cleric ally with Rally. So whenever Calustra Healer or another ally enters the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life.
To me, this will be the key to the new ally deck.
Or maybe the Abzan Rally deck.
Correct, yeah. This with Abzan Rally, March from the Tomb, and Collected Company, it just makes itself into a deck.
A very strong shell.
Yeah, add it in with like Nantuko Has. You can just like rinse and repeat rally after rally after rally into March.
I really can't wait to see like Abzan allies. Hopefully take over Abzan Walker as a
as a viable deck, I guess. Yeah, post rotation.
So our top common pick for Battle for Zendikar is Complete Disregard.
Yeah.
So for 2 colorless, 1 black, you get an instant Devoid, which makes it colorless. Exile target creature with power 3 or less.
This is strong. This is super push, guys. With Hero's Downfall going away, I mean, this is the next best thing. It's an instant removal spell.
Granted, it doesn't hit like your Siege Rhinos, your Tassigurs, but it will hit like I think the majority of creatures that are an issue in Standard right now.
I feel it's strong enough to even be viable in Modern and Legacy, where everybody just plays threats which are 3 and lower.
Yeah, I think it's actually a good replacement for Hero's Downfall.
Very nice. That's why it's our top pick.
Yeah. Right, so that was the top 5 comments that we feel would actually make some standard applications. Now going on to
number 3, top 5 BFZ uncommons.
We will be starting our top 5 BSC uncommons with Titan's Presence. So for 3 colorless, you have an instant. As an additional cost to Titan's Presence, reveal a colorless creature card and exile target creature if its power is less than or equal to the colorless creature's power.
Can you say Path to Exile?
Yes, I can. Path to Exile.
I think this is awesome in the standard sense. It's like Path to Exile is back.
Granted, it is 3 mana, but it is 3 colorless mana.
It's 3 colors mana. It goes into nearly every deck that wants to play the Eldrazi.
That is true. So
it gives green decks, which doesn't have much removal, the reach to kill.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you were to play, the Eldrazi decks in, for example, mono green run, you have like a removal spell for green. So it's actually pretty good. Granted, you have to have an Eldrazi in your hand, but most of the Eldrazi are big enough to take out any creature on the board, I believe.
Rhinos, rocks, angels, nothing.
That's why it is one of our top 5. Next up, Transgress the Mind. So for 1 colorless, 1 black, you get a sorcery with Devoid. Target player reveals his hand and you exile a card with a converted mana cost 3 or greater. Strong.
This is huge. I mean, with Thoughtseize leaving the standard format and only Duress staying behind, this will be the de facto discard spell that everybody will be packing in their sideboards.
Granted, it costs 1 colorless more, and granted, it is almost an exact reprint of Appetite for Brains, but...
well, the fact that it exiles and it hits 3 and higher, plus any type of permanent, that is, besides land, that's huge.
Yeah, I think this will definitely see play, standard, definitely see play.
Cool.
Alright, next up. Stasis Snare. So for 1 colorless, white, you get enchantment with Flash. When Stasis Snare enters the battlefield, exile target creature opponent controls until Stasis Snare leaves the battlefield.
Vanishing Light 2.0. Now with Flash, sign me up for 4.
It's more or less the same converted mana cost, and it's strong.
Yeah, I foresee it'll rule standard for a while.
I can see that as well. Alright, next up. Retreat to Coral Helm. So for 2 colorless, 1 blue, you get an enchantment. With Landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield, choose 1. You may tap or untap target creature, or you may scry 1. Someone's already broken this in Modern, by the way.
It looks pretty unassuming, right? But somebody's broken it in Modern. So what's the combo? Tell me.
So the combo is Retreat to Coral Helm and Knight of the Reliquary. So Knight of the Reliquary says you may tap it and you sack a forest or a plains and you search your library for a land card and put it into play.
Wow.
So when you put it into play, this one untaps it, so you can tap it again. Untaps it, and then you can tap it again.
So why do you want to do this repeatedly?
So your Knight of the Reliquary has an additional ability in that it has +1/+1 for each land card in your graveyard.
Obscene.
So you put him down, or you put her down. Before long, like next turn, you'll be hitting with a 15/15 or a 16/16.
Seems pretty
Which is more or less game in Modern.
Yep, seems pretty good.
It's pretty strong in Modern, but in Standard we have yet to see another thing. But again, like Scry 1 is strong. Tapping or untapping creatures, especially with fetch lands, is pretty good.
I feel this is more for its Modern applications. That's why it's in our top 5.
Oh yeah. Next up, Zulaport Cutthroat. So for 1 colorless, 1 black, you get a 1/1 human rogue ally. Whenever Zulaport Cutthroat or another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So this is an exact opposite of the Kalastra Healer.
And it goes directly into the same Abzan Rally deck with Kalastra Healer.
And they're both allies.
Of course, you add in a dash of Nantuko Has, boom. You
Abzan Rally 2.0.
Abzan Rally 2.0. That's the combo.
I mean, they didn't even lose much anyways from like...
well, except for Saito Wayfinder, or Satir Wayfinder,
I guess this would make it a bit more consistent, I guess.
Yes.
It's a very strong card.
Upon entering and upon exiting, lose 1 life, gain 1 life.
I think we'll see as much play as Blood Artist did, back when like Innistrad Standard.
Well, this is a Blood Artist that can actually attack. Of course, it doesn't trigger off your opponent's creatures dying, which was why Blood Artist was so awesome. But
I think
it's still huge.
It's still huge. And I think now with Eldrazi Scions, being sacked left, right, and center, it's just like an even more combolicious.
They don't want it to trigger after your opponents because everybody will be sacking the Eldrazi Scions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why it is our pick in our top 5 uncommons. So next up,
number 2, top 10 BFZ rares or mythics.
First up, guys, if you notice anything different, the first one to comment will receive a Spartan giveaway. Right, moving up. So, our top 10 rares and mythics, starting with Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. So at number 10, for 10 mana, for 10/10, you get a legendary creature Eldrazi. So whenever you cast Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, exile 2 target permanents. He's indestructible, and whenever Ulamog attacks, defending player exiles the top 20 cards of his or her library.
Wow. This is huge. I can see it going straight into modern Tron decks. This guy alone could be the reason to want to play mono green Eldrazi Ram.
No, I really can't wait for his application in Standard.
He's huge. Even if he gets jump block all day, within 3 attacks, he's gonna mill the opponent.
Exactly. So he is strong, and hopefully he actually creates a new archetype.
Most definitely. Next up.
Moving on, Ruinous Path. So for 1 colorless black, you get a sorcery, destroy target creature or planeswalker, or you can awaken it for 5 colorless black. So you get a 4/4 elemental land in the process.
Goodbye Hero's Downfall. Hello Ruinous Path.
It's at sorcery speed though, but
you can't have everything, bro.
It is a strong contender. It is a strong replacement. It is, but yeah.
The meta is gonna go slow, so this is just nice enough to be where, you know, at 7 mana you kill something, you make a 4/4, continue beating down.
It's good in control decks, I can see that.
Yeah, Abzan control, Esper control.
Alright, so moving up. Drana, Liberator of Malakir. So for 1 colorless black, you get a 2/3 legendary creature vampire ally with flying and first strike. So whenever Drana, Liberator of Malakir deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on each attacking creature you control.
This is my favorite card of the whole set. I mean,
she's undercosted.
Yeah, she's like super push.
She's an ally.
Yeah.
And with first strike, she can actually make sure she goes through first before giving +1/+1 counters.
Awesome, man. This is gonna go into ally decks. This is gonna go into vampire decks. This might even like, you know, be the de facto card for like vampire commander, maybe.
Mono black. Not too many vampires at her, you know, at her cost. But a very good ally nonetheless.
Of course.
Really can't wait for other archetypes revolving around her. Next up, Green Warden of Murasa. So you have 4 colorless green, elemental creature, 5/4. When Green Warden of Murasa enters the battlefield, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. And whenever Green Warden of Murasa dies, you may exile it. If you do, return target card from your graveyard to your hand.
If you thought Den Protector was annoying enough,
How about Den Protector ×2?
×2. Maybe as a 2-off in Abzan?
Yeah, the mana cost kind of prohibits him being even more prevalent, but it's a good card. It's a solid body. When he dies also, he just adds on more value to you.
Can you loop 2 Murasas together?
Well, you can loop one into another, but you don't get like a double ability. You don't get the double value out of it.
Of course, yeah.
It's still strong.
It's still strong, yeah.
It's still strong. First, Planeswalker, Nixilis Reignited. So for 3 colorless black, you get a Planeswalker Nixilis. So his name is not Ob after all.
Maybe it's like Darth Vader. His name isn't Vader after all.
So for 5 loyalty, which is not bad, you know, 5 for 5. And +1, you draw a card, lose 1 life. Very relevant. -3, destroy target creature.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's black or not black. Yeah.
And -8, target opponent gets an emblem. Whenever a player draws a card, you lose 2 life.
I feel this is commander fodder.
I feel he can actually make way into standard. It's strong, you know. It's got a lot of loyalty for his cost.
Yeah.
His +1 is relevant. His -3 is relevant. Sure, his emblem, it might take him some time to get there, but regardless, I mean, his first 2 abilities are, I think, enough to slot him in.
Maybe as a one-off.
I'm seeing 2 to 3. 2 off. Next up, Kira, Master of the Depths. For 2 colorless, 1 green, 1 blue, you get 4 loyalty. For +1, you untap up to 1 target creature and up to 1 target land. And for -2, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may put a creature and or a land card.
Yeah, Yeah.
From that 4 into your hand, and the rest you put out into your graveyard. And -8, you get an emblem. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you may have it fight target creature, and then put 3 8/8 octopus creature tokens on the battlefield for -8.
Question: how many Kyoras do they have to make before people actually start playing with her? Could this be the Kyora that's so super push that people will eventually play with her?
Granted, this is the second Kyora, so all they actually have to do, I think, is just make the second Kyora. I think this is good.
This is super push, man. It's just so awesome.
It is, but unfortunately, it is in the colors that I don't think will
Of
see
green
play
and blue.
currently.
If you
Yeah,
see,
Sultai kind of died after Theros moved out.
yeah, nobody plays with Temur
Yeah.
except for Mylan. They've been trying since Ravnica to make green blue into a thing. Nobody played with Simic the first time around. Nobody played with Simic the second time around. Even when we were in Theros, nobody played with Simic.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It's a strong card. Unfortunately, I don't think you'll go into any deck. Apart from that, it's an awesome EDH card, though.
well, could this be the card that brings Temur to the forefront, beating out the rest of the clans?
I see it more in a Sultai.
Yeah, blatantly the -2 is made for Sultai.
Yeah. So here's looking to actually Kyora.
Give some love
Having
to
some
Temur,
play.
yo. Give some Temur love.
Next up, March from the Tomb. So for 3 colorless, 1 white, 1 black, you have a sorcery. Return any number of target allied creature cards from your graveyard onto the battlefield with total converted mana cost 8 or less. Now that they actually spoil a lot of good 1-drop, 2-drop, and 3-drop allies,
Yeah.
this actually sees more play.
Zulaport Cutthroat, Kalastria Healer.
Drana,
This is the shit you want to bring back with, man.
it's strong. Again, I don't see it as a 4-off, maybe a 2 or 3-off
Yeah.
in a dedicated ally deck.
At the end of the day, Rally for Ancestors and Collector Company is still going to be the key to the Abzan Allies deck. So yeah, this might be a 1-off or a 2-off.
Oh, we shall see. Next up, the Allied Planeswalker, Gideon, ally of Zendikar. So for 2 colorless white, you get, again, 4 loyalty. This is 1-on-1. I really like this. And +1, until end of turn, Gideon, ally of Zendikar, becomes a 5/5 human soldier ally creature with indestructible. That's still a Planeswalker. And prevent all damage that will be dealt to him this turn. And for 0, you put a 2/2 white knight ally creature token onto the battlefield. And for -4, you get an emblem. Creatures you control get +1/+1. So you can put him down and he's immediately a Crusade effect.
It's
Or you can put him down and you can
the
immediately trigger
strongest
allies.
Gideon I've seen in a while.
He is. Wow.
This is a Gideon that you would play 4 off in your White Winnie deck. It could usher in the rise of White Winnie beatdown all over again.
Yeah, and definitely in ally decks. I mean, I can see in Abzan allies, I can see him in... what are the other colors? Abzan allies, more Abzan allies. Abzan again. Abzan will control the meta once again.
I guess so. I look forward to playing with him in White Winnie actually.
Me too.
Since there's no more red that wins, I'll play White Winnie wins.
Or maybe Boros allies as well with Munda.
White Winnie wins. www.
Next up, probably not for White Weenie, Emeria Shepherd. So for 5 colorless white, you get an Angel 4/4 with flying. Landfall, whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, return target permanent from your graveyard to your hand. If it's a plains, put it onto the battlefield.
Very tricksy Wixie card.
Like this.
More like Commander bait, I guess.
You might actually see play in more
Legacy?
control-ish builds.
Will we see it being played in Legacy? Reanimator, you guess?
No.
Or
And
Dredge?
Reanimator
Dredge
has
Vine?
other ways to get their creatures onto the battlefield. They don't need to add an additional loop. Plus, then Reanimator doesn't really play white, so planes might be a drawback.
Okay. What do you think? Do you think this will be relevant in Legacy or Modern? Tell us in
I
the
think it would
comment
actually
section
be
below.
relevant in Standard as well. Next up, this card, which I think will actually definitely see Standard play, Aligned Hadron Network. So for 4 colorless, you get an artifact. When Aligned Hadron Network enters the battlefield, exile all creatures with power 5 or greater until it leaves the battlefield.
This is huge, man. This is like Banishing Light 2.0.
It still doesn't hit Siege Rhino. Why?
I guess in testing they were trying it out, and when this got destroyed, all the rhinos came back.
Okay. You can actually could have worked around it with the rhinos
I guess.
on your side. Could be, but rhinos with like a Gideon on their side could get out of control as well.
Yeah, no. This is good. This gives vanishing light to every single color. That's why it's in our top 10.
So that covers our review for Battle for Zendikar. So tell us what you think of Battle for Zendikar in the comments below. And going up to our
Number 1, Post-BFZ Metagame update.
So, BFZ will be coming into effect the week after next week.
Yeah, on October 2nd when it is released globally.
And when it is released and when it is legal, Taros will go out together with M15.
Yeah.
That is quite a blow. That is quite a blow. So tell me, which archetypes do you think will actually just lose out from this change?
Well, basically there's 3 decks that dies after standard rotation in Post-BFZ. First up being Red Deck Winds.
Ooh.
It loses out on so much firepower and relevant creatures like Eidolon of Great Revels.
Yeah, the Lightning Strikes are out, the Goblin Rabble Masters are out, the Eidolon of Great Revels are out. Yeah,
There's
think
nothing
just
left.
died, man.
Yeah. Blatantly, R&D wants to push the game more towards mid-range and control. So I foresee not playing Red Dead Winds for the next 3 to 6 months. It's okay.
So what else?
Besides that, Heroic as an archetype also loses out everything because Taros is rotating out.
Well, I mean, the keyword was heroic after all.
Of course. And also green-red strategies like green-red dragons and green-red devotion.
Devotion will be there. Yeah, Nykthos will not be around anymore.
The main important thing is there's no more mana ramp available. Elvish Mystic is gone. Sylvan Caryatid is going away. The Stormbreath Dragons are going away. Plus, you lose out on the monsters like Polukranos and also Arbor Colossus.
Yeah, and you don't have like Nykthos as well to like shore them as well.
Yeah, of course.
Well, moving on. So what do you think, what current archetypes will actually remain?
Well, since we're in KTK, the prevalent KTK clans will still be around. I foresee Abzan Aggro, Abzan Control and Abzan Midrange will still rule supreme in Standard. Jeskai Midrange and Jeskai Control will be around as well. Decks like Sultai and Mardu might have to evolve because most of their pieces go away with Taros.
Yeah.
But I foresee the pieces are there. Sultai might change into a Sultai Ingest deck. Mardu might change into a Mardu Allies deck.
Could be.
Esper Dragon will still be around. And lastly, Red Green Tokens might be the latest evolution for players that still want to play Red. Because Martin Dang's Red Green Tokens deck has most of the pieces still survive
Still intact.
the BFZ rotation. Yeah.
So that's about the existing archetypes. So what do you think about any new archetypes coming up? I'm pretty sure there are a lot.
I'm looking forward to like BFZ cards, hitting a big impact in Standard. The main 3 things to look up for is first the Eldrazi's. I foresee mono green Eldrazi Ram might be a thing again. The next thing will be the allies. Allies are predominantly in black and white. So
the good ones.
The good ones are predominantly in black and white. So we could see black-white allies, Mardu allies, Abzan allies, or even 4-color allies.
Yeah, really can't wait for Abzan Allies. I mean, together with Collected Company, then
Oh my
my
god.
thing.
And Rally
Rally the Ancestors will be a thing.
March to the Tomb.
Mardu Allies has Munda.
Oof, huge.
Can really help them out.
Lastly, Ingest. Ingest as a mechanic. I feel you could see Rakdos Devoid Ingest, or Dimir Ingest, Grixis Ingest, or even Sultai Ingest.
Sultai Ingest might actually be a thing as well, or even like Golgari Ingest. Again, like the Ingest cards, I think are currently more geared towards limited, but an enterprising deck techer can build something out of it.
There's enough low curve Ingest guys which will make your processes pay off. Once you hit 6 mana, Oblivion Soul and Friends,
Ooh,
boom.
definitely looking forward to a whole new meta where Abzan does not rule supreme. Hopefully. Hopefully.
We'll see.
Alright, so that's it for Magic the Chattering this week. Stay tuned to our next episode every Thursday.
What do you think of the cards revealed in the episode this week? Tell us in the comment section below.
And as always, if you like us, subscribe and do share our videos with your friends.
Goodbye, Taros.
Goodbye, Taros. You won't be missed.
Smarter.
I'm Alvin,
And I'm Nick.
signing off.
I don't know, just BFZ just makes me sad, man. There's no beatdown cards.
Oh yeah, too bad.
It's like
Don't cry, man. Red deck lost.